Well, you're welcome back from that, where we can now do some other stories. And the recent collapse of the Ashalaja Bridge claimed the life of a truck driver, but one man survived the accident. David Ando, photojournalist with My John Online, interviewed the mate of the driver, whose survival has been described as miraculous. He now joins us in studio with more on this. David, so good morning. Thanks for joining us.
Good morning.
So tell us about what really happened.
On the 7th of this month, I was in the car coming to work, and I heard some passengers discussing this accident. And when I came to office, I heard Adum FM had also reported it. So I went to their newsroom and find out how they got the contact they gave me. I made some contact with the people there, and I just set off. I went to Amasaman. Letting car to the scene was a problem. Then I got a taxi. He actually sent me there. And when I went there, I saw that the thing was too serious than what I heard. You could see the whole bridge had collapsed and the water level was too high. And we were told that the tipper car was actually crossing the bridge previous night around 8:30, and in the middle of the bridge, the bridge collapsed when the car was passing. So the tipper car, which was Volvo something, and submerged in the water, and because of the water level, you couldn't see it. People were skeptical that, I mean, there was a vehicle in the water.
Leading me to the next question. Many have described the survival of this gentleman as miraculous.
Yes.
How so?
Because when the accident occurred, the car submerged, and the two drivers, the one who died is called Bernard Ej, and then the survivor is also Joseph Ashale. And according to him, when the accident occurred, they were struggling in the cabin when they were, on the water, they were struggling to get out. And during the struggle, according to him, he said, "Oh God, so am I going to die and leave my children behind?" And according to him, the moment he said that, he felt something very cold on his head. And that was when he saw himself carried by the water, and the current of the water was strong. And even if you are standing far away, it is very, strange to see something like that. And he said he saw some trees there, and he hung on one of the branches. And it was around 8:30 p.m. And that time, he heard some residents had also heard the collapse of the bridge, and they had come to the scene to see what was happening. And that was when he started screaming. But according to him, he said the people did not believe that, there was a human being, somewhere. So he kept on screaming till a certain man who knows how to swim, went to where he was. And fortunately for him, that man happened to be his brother-in-law. And he knows how to swim. So he told him that he heard the voice and he knew he was the one, but he couldn't believe. So he was there to verify. And when he saw that it was his brother or somebody, he went back to tell the community that actually there was somebody. And the community quickly mobilized themselves and provided a long rope for that guy to swim to where the guy was hanging, and gave him the rope to actually tighten it. And the community members who were standing far away pull it gradually till he brought the guy, ashore.
Oh, okay. I see what a story there. But what's the state of this bridge now?
It is. They haven't done anything about it. Even the tipper truck is still underwater. They have not been able to pull it. And if you look at the whole bridge, it's a metal bridge, and it looks older. If I'm not lying, it will be more than a decade if you look at how the whole thing has rusted.
I see. But this story you tell me of Joseph Ashala, you say?
Ashale,
Joseph Ashale. It's an interesting one. Is he thinking of probably taking up, say, becoming a pastor or thinking of something else? But what does he intend doing with the rest of his life now?
He said, I mean, the thing has actually strengthened his faith. He worshipped with the Methodist Church at a community in the South called Danchra.
Okay.
Yes, he said, even he told me that if somebody slaps him from one end of his face, he will turn the other one as what Jesus Christ said.
I see. David Ando, many thanks for joining us.
Thank you.
That's David Ando. He's actually a photojournalist with My Joy Online, and he tells us about a story of one survivor, Joseph Ashale. Well, he managed to survive a bridge collapse there, but we'll be bringing you much more on that particular story later on. But moving on, the police administration says the eviction notice to officers occupying one of its structures in Tema is not negotiable. The service says the structure, known as Militia House, is in such a terrible shape it could collapse at any time. But the over 500 police personnel occupying the building say their employer has failed to make reasonable alternative arrangements for them. Matador Omega visited Militia House and now reports.
The two-story building referred to as Militia House is located in Community 2, Thema. The over 500 personnel have been living here for more than 6 years. Portions of the building built in the 70s have developed deep cracks with the roofs in tatters. Electrical cables could be seen loosely hanging on the walls. The situation becomes miserable whenever it rains. Aside the danger this building poses to occupants, there are no toilets or bathrooms. The occupants therefore rely on this makeshift structure as their bathroom, while relying on public toilets as their place of convenience. Some of the officers who would rather not have their faces shown for fear of victimization say, though they agree the structure is unsafe, they have to manage to live in there for years.
When we were coming here, they told us that here's a temporary. Okay. So by all means, we'll move here, but they haven't made any provision for us.
Okay. So now that they're asking you to leave, have they given you money? So are you ready to move out now?
Madam, I don't have money to go and rent because you know the condition of Tema. Yeah, I can't use 6,000, 7,000, go and rent a room for just 2 years. If they can get us a place, a new place that we can all go and stay there or live there, I think that one will be better for us.
So what we are requiring from them is just to grant us some money from the welfare coffers. At least if they can even give us half of it, we can push it up and then rent our own accommodation.
But the Tema Regional Police Command says the directive is in the interest of the personnel and that the officers need to move.
We have not police on our records. We have not officially allocated Militia House for any police personnel to stay there, and so how they got there we don't know. But then when we got to know that they are living there, we have asked not just once, not twice, several times from one commander to the other that they move from the place. So even this very recent signal that we have sent out for personnel leaving there to vacate their place, but then the most important thing is that that Militia House is just not right, it's not habitable for police personnel or even any other person to live there.
She adds that though the police administration has no relocation plan for the families, the administration will refund monies used in renting new apartments.
As it is now, it doesn't look like there's any accommodation anywhere where we can put these personnel living in the Militia House to go and put up with in the interim. That is why we have said that go look for a place yourself. Inform administration you have found a place, and administration is very ready to pay for you.
Many of them are willing to move out, but the issue is the money in bulk to pay for their rent.
There's a procedure that we work at. Ordinarily, you're supposed to be given the police barracks to stay, but if you don't find yourself in a thing like that, we have always advised or suggested, which is a procedure, that you get a place, pay the upfront, and then we remit you later in salaries. That's like 20% of a basic salary depending on your rank.
ASP Juliana Obeng is however unable to say if occupants will be forcefully evicted from the building. Matilda Pamaga for Joy News, Tema.
The Food and Drugs Authority has announced the recall of yet another aphrodisiac on the market it says has been adulterated. Now it follows the recall of 6 others after they were found to contain controlled substances. Head of Drug Enforcement Thomas Amedro says the FDA has received intelligence there's a proliferation of similar adulterated aphrodisiacs on the market, which the authority is seeking to clear.
Products blacklisted by the Food and Drugs Authority are Rockman capsules, Angel Natural capsules, Tinated Before, Adum Gentleman Power capsules, Lord P capsules, and Mask for Men. The latest to be put on that blacklist is Recharger, a Chinese product. According to the FDA, the products are so toxic they could result in heart attacks and bleeding in the brain, which could lead to stroke and even death.
Vardenafil is actually a group, they belong to a group of compounds that are used for treatment of sexual dysfunction. We call them the phosphodiesterase inhibitors. We have vardenafil, we have tadalafil, which is the commonest compound is Cialis. And then we have sildenafil, which we call Viagra, the compound, the active ingredient in Viagra. So they belong to that one family, you see. So this vardenafil, all of them too, they have that effect. They can cause hemorrhage, bleeding in the brain. They can cause, they can impair oxygen supply to the heart and leading to heart attack. They can also cause blurred vision, affect your sight, can affect your kidney function. And also, when some people who are on certain medication like glycerin, which is used for ischemic attack, if you are on such medications, some medications, so you are not supposed to use that drug because it can lead to fatalities or complications.
Thomas Amejo revealed to Joy News, intelligence from food and drug authorities in other countries have proved very helpful in the ongoing clampdown.
This issue of adulteration, contamination, counterfeiting is a global phenomenon. It's not limited to us. It's all over the world. And so we've been exchanging best practices. It's because of this that US FDA even has to give us information. When you find something, we also find something, we tell them this is what we found. WHO also has a rapid alert system, some kind of database, so they send information across to all members. Say, we found this in Central Africa. It is possible it might be filtering through the West African region also, so look out for it. Then we also, so all these things are trigger points that help us in our surveillance.
Interestingly, all the blacklisted products have obtained FDA certification. But Mr. Amejo explained the samples they tested did not contain the hazardous substances found in the adulterated products currently on the market.
Before we say this product has been approved, then we have done due diligence, and then also subsequently we do the market surveillance to ensure that the people continue to abide by the terms and conditions regarding the marketing authorization that was given to them, so that they will not unduly endanger people, the public. So we do all that we can.
The recalled products, according to the FDA, will be destroyed on Friday.
Time now for business with Francisca Kakraforsi.